CompTIA Data Plus Study Guide. Question 1. Which of the following statistical methods requires two or more categorical variables? Simple linear regression, chi-squared test, z-test, two-sample t-test. The chi-squared test examines the relationship between two or more categorical variables by checking whether observed distributions differ from expected distributions. Linear regression uses numeric variables, z-tests compare means or proportions, and t-tests compare numeric means between two groups. Question 2. Which of the following data manipulation techniques is an example of a logical function? Where clause filtering, aggregate functions sum, AVG count, Boolean data type, if statement. The if statement evaluates a condition and returns different results based on the outcome, true/false, making it a logical function. Whereas a filtering clause aggregates summarized data and Boolean is a data type, not a function. Question 3. A sales team wants visibility of current sales numbers, pipeline, and team performance, but individual commission data must be kept confidential. Which is the best way to provide this visibility? Add a refresh date to show data timeliness. Limit dashboard access to management only. Use filters to exclude commission data from the dashboard. Create a dashboard with views for team, individuals, and management with permissions. Creating a dashboard with role-based views and permissions gives each group, team, individuals, management, access only to the information they are authorized to see. This balances visibility with confidentiality of commission data. Question 4. Which of the following is a characteristic of a relational database? It utilizes key-value pairs. It has undefined fields. It is structured in nature with tables and a defined schema. It uses minimal memory. A relational database organizes data into structured tables with a defined schema, using keys to establish relationships and ensure consistency. Key-value pairs describe NoSQL databases, undefined fields contradict relational database requirements, and memory usage is not a defining characteristic. Question 5. A data analyst is asked on the morning of April 9, 2020, to create a sales report identifying sales year-to-date. Daily sales data is current through the end of each day. Which date range should be on the report? January 1st, 2020 through March 31st, 2020. January 1st, 2020 through April 7th, 2020. January 1st, 2020 through April 8th, 2020. January 1st, 2020 through April 9th, 2020. Since the report is created on the morning of April 9th, the most recent complete sales data is through the end of April 8th. Data for April 9th would not yet be finalized. Including incomplete data would be inaccurate, and earlier ranges omit available data. Question 6. Which of the following is used for calculations and pivot tables? IBM SPSS, SAS, Statistical Analysis System, Microsoft Excel, Domo. Microsoft Excel is widely used for calculations and has built-in pivot table functionality for quickly summarizing and analyzing data. SPSS and SAS are statistical analysis tools, and Domo is a business intelligence platform. None are primarily known for pivot tables like Excel. Question 7. A research analyst wants to determine whether the data being analyzed is connected to other data points. Which is the best type of analysis to conduct? Trend analysis, performance analysis, link analysis, exploratory analysis. Link analysis focuses on identifying relationships and connections between data points, making it the best choice for understanding how data points are connected. Trend analysis examines changes over time. Performance analysis evaluates effectiveness against goals, and exploratory analysis broadly investigates patterns without specifically mapping connections. Question 8. Which of the following variable name formats would be problematic if used in the majority of data software programs? First underscore name underscore. First name. First underscore name. First name. Most data software programs treat spaces in variable names as problematic because spaces can break queries or require special handling, e.g., brackets or quotes. Underscores and camel case, e.g., first underscore name, first name, first underscore name underscore, are widely supported and considered valid naming conventions. Question 9. Which sampling method randomly selects elements from each small subgroup within a population? Simple random sampling, cluster sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling. Stratified sampling divides the population into smaller subgroups, strata, based on shared characteristics, then randomly selects samples from each subgroup to ensure representation across all key subgroups. Simple random selects from the whole population, cluster selects entire groups, and systematic selects every nth element. Question 10. Which of the following is a control measure for preventing a data breach? Data transmission, data attribution, data retention, data encryption. Data encryption converts data into unreadable form unless the correct decryption key is used, preventing unauthorized access and protecting against data breaches. Data transmission refers to moving data, attribution links data to a source, and retention defines storage duration. None directly prevent breaches like encryption does. Question 11. A data analyst is creating a report that will provide information about various regions, products, and time periods. Which of the following formats will be the most efficient way to deliver this report? A workbook with multiple tabs for each region. A daily email with snapshots of regional summaries. A static report with a different page for every filtered view. A dashboard with filters at the top that the user can toggle. A dashboard with interactive filters allows users to dynamically adjust views by selecting regions, products, or time periods without needing separate static files. This avoids duplication, reduces maintenance, and provides interactive flexibility for data exploration. Question 12. Which of the following best describes the issue in which character values are mixed with integer values in a dataset column? Duplicate data, missing data, data outliers, invalid data type. When character values are mixed with integer values in the same column, the column lacks a consistent data type. This causes errors in analysis since most tools expect a column to be either entirely numeric or entirely text, not a mixture of both. Question 13. Which of the following is a process that is used during data integration to collect, blend, and load data? MDM, Master Data Management. ETL, Extract, Transform, Load. OLTP, Online Transaction Processing. BI, Business Intelligence. ETL is the standard process used during data integration to extract data from sources, transform it, clean, blend, standardize, and load it into a target system like a data warehouse. MDM ensures data consistency, OLTP handles transactions, and BI focuses on analysis and reporting. Question 14. An analyst has received the requirements for an internal user dashboard. The analyst confirms the data sources and then creates a wireframe. Which of the following is the next step the analyst should take in the dashboard creation process? Optimize the dashboard for performance. Create subscriptions for regular email delivery. Get stakeholder approval on the wireframe. Deploy the dashboard to production. After creating a wireframe, the next step is to validate it with stakeholders. This ensures the dashboard design, layout, and planned metrics meet business needs before investing time in development. Skipping this step could lead to rework if expectations are not aligned. Question 15. A company's marketing department wants to do a promotional campaign next month. A data analyst has been asked to perform customer segmentation, looking at how recently a customer bought a product, at what frequency, and at what value. Which of the following types of analysis would this practice be considered? Prescriptive analysis, trend analysis, gap analysis, cluster analysis. This practice is RFM, recency, frequency, monetary, segmentation, which is a form of cluster analysis. It groups customers into clusters based on purchasing patterns to help marketing teams target promotions more effectively. Prescriptive analysis suggests actions, trend analysis examines changes over time, and gap analysis identifies performance differences. Question 16. A publishing group has requested a dashboard to track submissions before publication. A key requirement is that all changes are tracked, as multiple users will be checking out documents and editing them before submissions are considered final. Which of the following is the best way to meet this stakeholder requirement? Display the version number next to each submission on the dashboard. Present a data refresh rate at the top of the dashboard. Confirm the dashboard is adhering to the corporate style guide. Use permissions to ensure users only see certain versions. Displaying version numbers directly addresses the requirement to track changes. Users can clearly see which revision of a submission they are viewing, ensuring transparency and accountability. Refresh rates, style guides, and permissions do not provide visibility into version history. Question 17. The number of phone calls that a call center receives in a day is an example of continuous data, categorical data, ordinal data, discrete data. The number of phone calls is discrete data because it consists of countable whole numbers. You cannot receive half a phone call. Continuous data can take any value within a range. Categorical data represents groups or labels, and ordinal data involves ranked categories. Question 18. A data analyst is asked to create a sales report for the second quarter 2020 board meeting, which will include a review of the business's performance through the second quarter. The board meeting will be held on July 15, 2020, after the numbers are finalized. Which of the following report types should the data analyst create? Static report, real-time report, self-service report, dynamic report. A static report provides a fixed snapshot of finalized Q2 numbers that won't change, ensuring all board members review the same data. Real-time reports update continuously, self-service reports allow user exploration, and dynamic reports update based on filters, all inappropriate for a formal board meeting requiring finalized, unchanging numbers. Question 19. Which of the following would be considered non-personally identifiable information, non-PI? Cell phone device name, customer's name, government ID number, telephone number. A device name by itself does not uniquely identify a person without being combined with other data. Customer names, government ID numbers, and telephone numbers are all PI because they directly identify or can be used to contact an individual. Question 20. Which of the following is the correct data type for text? Boolean, string, integer, float. A string is the correct data type for text, representing sequences of characters such as words, sentences, or alphanumeric values. Boolean represents true/false, integer represents whole numbers, and float represents decimal numbers.